Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy's got you covered with today's hottest topics. And another wild hot talk panel takes on this week's biggest headlines. Plus, Wendy gets up close and personal with some amazing endangered animals. Now, here's Wendy.
Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topic. It's day 2 of the broken pinky toe. I tried, but my shoes go into such points. Anyway, I'm glad to be comfortable. How are you? Excellent. So, apparently, they're saying that there's trouble in paradise for Nicole, Richie, and Joel Madden. I know, you never hear anything about it. As a matter of fact, Nicole just finished hooking up Cameron Diaz with Joel's twin, and now they're married, so it's like the 4 of them married and happy, I'm thinking. Well, Nicole is 33 and hasn't been fun since The Simple Life. Do you watch her show on, clap if you've ever seen, she has a reality show. Oh, 3 of you. Well, it's been renewed for another season, so you're happy to know that, yeah. Anyway, so Nicole is 33 and Joel is 36, and they've been together for 8 years, married for about 4 years, okay, but together for 8 years. And reportedly, they've been fighting about everything and are only staying together for the kids. They're too young to suffer like that. Now, the word is that he, among the other things that they fight about, he says that she is too bossy and controlling when she doesn't get her way. But don't you learn that about somebody 8 years ago when you start dating them? I mean, if you've been together for 8 years and only married for 4, then you had 4 years to figure out whether, and there's nothing wrong with being bossy and controlling, it's just that you have to figure out whether this is something you can put up with. And then the other thing, one thing that she complains about is that he is a judge on The Voice Australia. And I checked with Siri, and Siri says that Australia is 17-hour time difference. They say that they're barely together, unlike regular couples. So then what's the problem? I'm trying to figure this out. You know? Win, rich Hollywood people, win. Try living in Jersey and sleeping with the same person every night, or in Queens, or Long Island, or Houston, or whatever, like us normal married people do. You know what I'm saying? Try getting a backbone and fight it out. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, I just feel like I always tell you, marriage isn't for everybody, and divorce is there for a reason. And I totally believe in divorce, but I also believe that if you go through the effort of getting married and having kids, then you need to put some effort into staying together and not just moving out so quickly. I mean, what could be the worst thing? Imagine if you fight with your husband, but he's gone for, 3 months at a time over in Australia. Really? And I don't mean really in a bad way, I mean really in a good way. It's like if your husband is a traveling salesman, you get your free time at home, and he gets his time out on the road to be away from you. So when you do both get back together, if one person is bossy or the other person always leaves the tie off the bread so the bread gets stale, you know, like little things in relationships sometimes get under our nails, but I just feel like it's not just rich Hollywood people, it's just marriage in general these days. People are so willing to throw it away quickly as opposed to fight it out. It's too bad. And then maybe they're still together because Cameron and the other, you know, like if you hook a friend up with a friend, doesn't it kind of in your mind become a competition? Like, who's the happier couple? Or, oh my gosh, we can't get divorced because then we can't hang out with them. We don't want to be the couple with egg on our face. There's so many dynamics here, and we very rarely talk about Nicole Richie. But I'm keeping my eye on this story because this is very, very sad. Viveca Fox, I love you. But I hate this idea. You are above this. You are Oscar. For goodness sakes, you are in Pulp Fiction. What are you doing joining the cast of Hollywood Divas? Exactly. Now, there's nothing wrong with Hollywood Divas and shows like that because what they do is or R&B Divas or any of those shows, but they are for a certain echelon of people, of which when I think about Viveca A. Fox, I'm not comparing her to, give me the girl, Golden Brooks from Girlfriends. Are you saying who? You didn't watch it, wait, clap if you said who? Wow. The sisters in the audience who clapped, you need to be ashamed of yourselves. You never watched Girlfriends? My girlfriend. Joan, Mr. Sweetelson, hello? Golden Brooks was on Girlfriends. And you know what? Respectable career, but where has she been? She's not supposed to be in the same room on the same cast with Viveca A. Fox. That's all I'm saying. It'd be like if Mary J. Blige joined the cast of R&B Divas. No, and she's not gonna do it, but I'm saying that's like Misha Lay and those fun girls, you know, Shantae Moore, but not Mary J. Blige. And I know what you're saying. Well, Wendy, this is not the first time she's been on a reality show. Yeah, she was on Celebrity Apprentice, but that's the higher tier of reality TV. But what I'm trying to do is show more respect for her than to be a real diva of Hollywood or whatever that is. I think that show is for particular people, like people who we don't know anymore, not for people who we do. Viveca, for God's sakes, you were just signed for Independence Day Part 2. Exactly! That's what I'm saying. Viveca, you can do better. This is a low move for your career. Clap if you agree. Oh, I'm exhausted. So Ashton Kutcher was involved with a cheating scandal with his ex-wife, Demi Moore. No, this is back in the day. Okay. What had happened was, when Ashton was involved with Demi, Ashton stepped out on Demi with a younger, more available woman. And that was one of the reasons, they say, that Ashton and Demi's marriage started to spiral out of control and eventually they got a divorce. But in a recent interview, the actor Scott Eastwood, you know, the son of the... And he's only like 29, too. He looks older than 29, though. He needs to moisturize more. But he's only 29 years old. Anyway, he revealed during this interview that Ashton cheated on Demi with Scott's then-girlfriend. And, well, this just goes to show you the statute of limitation for cheatation never wears out. Now, you could be saying, well, if this was years ago, Scott, then why are you talking about it? And the reason why he's talking about it is because he's only human. He was probably waiting for a moment to get on a talk show or be asked in an interview, what happened with you and your longtime girlfriend? And so then he said, well, she cheated with Ashton Kutcher at the same time he was married to Demi Moore. Now, yeah. Well, reportedly now Mila is his now wife, and they've got a new baby together, Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis is worried that Ashton's going to do the same thing to her. Maybe. Then again, maybe not. Now, I'm going to put it in perspective for you. Ashton was married to a woman old enough to be his mother. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. If she had gotten pregnant when she was 13, certainly. No, Ashton was married to Demi, and yeah, she's hot. There are many women, over 45 who are hot. But, when we choose to get with a 31-year-old with no kids, we have to know that this relationship has a shelf life. Is that right? Okay. Every woman, though, and so he's married to this older woman, and sometimes over 45, if we're with a young man, we tend to want to run things. Even when we try to let him be the man, we always end up treating him like the son. It's not healthy. And so what that makes the young man want to do is go out and play with somebody his own age. Somebody who's not going to act like mom. So and every woman, so maybe Ashton won't do this to Mila, but every woman always thinks that she's got something special and she's going to be the exception to the rule. And, Mila, all you can do is hope for the best, and we, along with you, will be watching Ashton to see what happens. What a mess. So, there are lots of juicy stories in the monthly magazines. I love a magazine. It's time for Wendy's Got You Covered. Hit it! I thought we talked about this. We're not going to do any more of that suburban cornball clap. We're going to soul clap. Okay? It's Friday. So the actress Kristen Bell is on the cover of Good Housekeeping magazine. All of our moms, grandmas, and great-grandmas read Good Housekeeping, right? I'm so shocked that they're still in publication because a lot of magazines have gone online. Hi, how you doing, Good Housekeeping? Inside, Kristen is revealing that she and her husband, Dax Shepard, have been in couples therapy since the beginning of their relationship. Not ooh, you mean ah? All right, just hold on now, and maybe you think the same thing. You do better in the gym with a trainer. You don't figure out how to cook without reading a recipe. Therapy is not something to be embarrassed about. Well, I don't think therapy is to be embarrassed about, although my people seem to have a problem with therapy. I've never had a problem with therapy. No, I'm not currently in, but if I had a problem that was over my head, I'd be in therapy. However, if I had a new boyfriend who ended up becoming my husband, we would not be in therapy from the time he's my boyfriend to the time I'm sorry. Now, maybe they do that because they can afford it. Therapists charge, $150, $200 an hour. I don't know how often they go to therapy. All I'm saying is that going to therapy during bad times is one thing. But if you need a third party to guide you through the good times and through the small hiccups, then when do you learn how to fight adult-like on your own? Do you know? I can appreciate her being honest, but it got me to thinking, is it fine to go to therapy even during the good times? No. And therapists are there, believe me, therapists are human beings, they want your money. So they will stir the pot, they will stir the pot just to get you all conflicted about something in the office just so that they can get you $300 an hour or whatever it is. Anyway, Kristen, thanks for sharing. Let's move on. So, Charlize Theron is on the cover of Esquire magazine. She looks like she just got out of bed, doesn't she? Anyway, she says her relationship with Sean Penn is successful because they were friends for 20 years. Well, I'm suspicious. No, wait, no, hold on. I'm suspicious. I'll read you the quote, and then I'll tell you why I'm suspicious that something might have happened back in the day. Charlize said, "It is nice to be in something where the friendship came first. I've never had that. There's a weight to the relationship already that I don't think you have when you're just meeting somebody and entering a relationship." Well, you know, it seems nice to be friends first. The thing is that who are you people that can be friends with somebody for 20 years and then all of a sudden meet up with them and be in love? Like, I'm thinking, if that happened to me, it's because I was hot for you even 20 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? And 20 years ago, you know, she says he was involved in a marriage and she was involved in some sort of relationship, so they couldn't get together. But you know, at the 4th of July barbecue, when you see somebody and you all might have partners and stuff, but you know, you get the look and you blink 25 times. You know what I mean? You know, and then you might even hook up with that person sometime or a few times over the 20 years. I don't know, I just get this, like a lot of times during Ask Wendy, people will say, you know, I reconnected, you know, I have a crush on my friend and we've been friends for 5 years. I'm like, how do you not exercise the crushation? I mean, even if you get rejected, that's part of wanting to fall in love, because you fall. Sometimes you bump your head and get rejected, and sometimes it works out. Anyway, do you think maybe they hooked up prior to, you know? Anyway, and I also believe that she's the boss of the relationship. I think he's buried all that ultra testosterone thing, and he sits back like an old man and lets her take the wheel. Anyway, that's Wendy's Got You Covered. Thank you. The Game, as in the rapper, is returning to reality TV. Isn't he cute? His smile is dreamy, his eyes. I don't like all the tattoos, but I could look past that. He's like tall in a day where all men are short. They're all short. The famous men, the regular men, they're all short. He's like 6'3" and filled out. He's not like a string bean. Yeah, he's like got shoulder, his body. Anyway, he's doing a new dating show where he's traveling the country with 10 women fighting to be his girlfriend. In other words, Flavor of Love 2.0. Here's the twist. The girls will be handpicked by his celebrity friends. You think he and Chloe ever got it in just once? Okay? Just saying. I always saw pictures of them. You know, in California, you all have all those hiking trails and stuff like that. I wish we had hiking trails in Jersey. But on account of the deer tick and the Lyme disease, I'm glad we don't. But he and Chloe did a lot of hanging out together, and I'm just thinking, you know, you're not that friendly with such a good-looking guy while you're fighting with your soon-to-be ex-husband, Lamar, without maybe a little something happening. Just maybe one time or more. More, she said more. Anyway, this particular show is not something that I'm interested in watching. Back when Flavor of Love was on, I was into fighting on reality TV and stuff. And it's not that I've classed up, because I have no class. But it's that my reality TV watching has really changed a lot. I don't care about wig pulling. I mean, I know I talk about it because it sounds funny. Wig pulling, jumping across conference room tables, calling each other a biatch, you know. I don't care. Like, I still like reality TV, but you know what my shows are? Like, I love Botched on E. I love the Braxtons. I like Mary Mary. I like the R&B divas because they're not fighting. I like Millionaire Matchmaker. I like $1 Million Listing with all the real estate and stuff. Those are my kind of reality shows. Like the wig pulling and stuff, not so much. My taste is elevated, which is odd. Anyway, She's Got Game is the name of the show. If you would like to watch, it premieres in the summer on VH1. Yes. All right, keep clapping. We've got more fabulous show for you. wildlife expert, Dave Mizajewski, is here. I love Dave because he always brings us dangerous animals, including today, a red lemur. But up next, our Hot Talk panel is here to break down the biggest stories of the week. So grab a snack and what? Come on back. Hot Monday on Wendy. The one and only Perez Hilton brings the inside scoop on celebrity news.
Handle your scandal behind closed doors, okay?
Okay. Plus, a big announcement that could mean big money for you.
Monday on an all-new Wendy.
Okay, welcome back. It's time to discuss this week's hottest topics in our latest edition of Hot Talk. Joining me are old friends, comedian and actress Ali Wentworth. Say hello. And from one of my favorite shows while I'm tooling around town on Sirius XM, it's the show is called Just Jenny, and her name is Jenny Hutt. And he's a senior writer for ESPN and CNN contributor. He's been here before, and he's back. Say hello to Laz Granderson. Okay. This week, people are still talking about Madonna and Drake and the shocking kiss on the stage at Coachella. Some people applaud her for continuing to push the envelope, and other people, like me, say it's a kind of a jump the shark moment. It's a desperate old lady, and Laz, what do you think?
All right. First of all, her concerts, the last two, have been two of the highest grossing concerts of all time.
Okay.
She just sold, for this concert's coming up, the highest ticket prices of 2015, sold out. She has not jumped the shark. What she's doing is what she's always done. Controversy, make money. Yeah. Controversy, make money. You're just following in the same routine she's always done.
I understand. Okay, but by the same token, her album sales have been piss poor for this album that's out.
Album sales don't matter anymore. It's all about ticket sales now. It's all about concert ticket sales.
I still think it's just desperate, you know, as a woman in her age group, you know.
I agree, but it is Madonna, so I feel like if anyone can get away with it, you know, let it be her.
Yeah.
And not me.
Yeah. No, it should be you. But Wendy, here's my issue. I don't understand why there are some of these women who are lusting after these young boys. I mean,
hello? What's wrong with that?
Wait, hold on. No, Wendy, no, wait. You're not one of the... Wait, hold it. Wait. I mean, you're not... Wendy, you're not one of the women who's, like, into Nick Jonas, are you?
Yes.
No.
He came here, I needed a drool bucket.
Yeah, he was a baby. He just got through puberty.
Look at that.
That's not a baby.
It is a baby.
Show me Harry Styles. Where's Harry Styles?
But this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with lusting after it. There's nothing wrong with even dating it. But pushing it, shoving your...
He
didn't co-sign.
He tweeted out and said, "I was an honor to." It was an honor to.
Backpedaling.
Did you see his face in the
video?
He
called Madonna. He has a song called Madonna.
I know.
How's that backpedaling?
He was nauseated after that kiss.
It was the lipstick.
You know, if a man did this, you guys, if say Steven Tyler did this to Ariana Grande, we'd be talking about him like a perv we want to call the cops.
Yes.
So we can't have it both ways.
All I have to say is
what,
that
LZ?
She hasn't done anything today that she didn't do yesteryear.
Exactly right.
She's been in the public spotlight for over 30 years. Who still is shocked by anything that she does at this point anyway?
Not this girl.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move along. You heard about this story, I know. 2 Maryland parents are being investigated for neglecting their children. It's a very controversial movement now. It's called free-range parenting. They say that they let their 10-year-old and 6-year-old kids walk 1 mile alone to the park, you know, down the street. But it's a mile stretch. It teaches them, they say, independence. So last week, the kids were picked up by the police for the second time. And the cops didn't notify the parents. So the parents go down to the park and they're like, hello, where are you all? It's not until midnight that they get the call from the police department. So they go down and pick up the kids. They didn't get fined because technically they didn't do anything wrong. Allie?
Yes.
What do you think?
I think a lot of things, Wendy. First of all, when I first saw the story, I went, oh, gosh, because I watched Law & Order SVU.
Me too.
Right.
So you're well informed.
I know. I'm well informed. That's how I get my news. And I have 2 exceptionally beautiful daughters, prettier than all the children out here. And so my feeling, I'm always thinking of abduction. Always.
Yes.
I'm abduction, I'm human trafficking.
Yes.
That's where we all go.
Yes.
So
I agree.
when I first saw that story, I thought, oh my God, I can't believe it. But then I saw the mother on television, and she was intelligent and lucid.
So
and
what?
Yes.
No, wait a second,
So
Jenny. Don't
what?
get all up in my business.
Oh, I'm up in your business.
But
Jenny's a mom too.
But Jenny, they're in the suburbs.
Yes.
My husband.
Don't be delusional, suburban woman.
Hello.
You're the same one who keeps your doors unlocked and your keys in the car. Are you serious?
Oh my God! Whoa! Stay with me. Stay with
I'm
me.
with you.
Those bitches.
I'm with you. I'm with
No,
you.
here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My husband George lived in the suburbs of Ohio.
Stephanopoulos.
George Clooney. He used to walk at 5 years old a mile to the
It's
school
not
bus.
George is an older guy. It's
Right.
not those
Wait,
times. We
Wendy,
all walk.
Why? It's because of social media that we're so scared
First of all,
now.
I am going to go to college with my children, and I think that's healthy.
Okay.
So let's
Yeah.
start with that.
So Jen, you're on the
Okay,
other end of the
but
spectrum.
Let me tell you something. In this world, in today's world, there is no reason why a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old should be walking by themselves for a mile. A mile. Come on. Can you even walk a mile?
At 6 years old, I wouldn't even let Kevin walk from the front door to the mailbox
Nor
without
would
me
I.
standing there
Hello.
watching him.
Don't you think what the police did is far scarier?
Yes, but I think...
That was scary, and they were way out of line.
yeah.
And I think this is what you can do. Raise your kids to be independent and just be lurking secretly behind while they're walking. Let
I'm a
them
lurker.
think they're alone.
Elsie, do you have kids?
I do. I have an 18-year-old son.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
So what do you think
Do you
about
let
this?
him walk by himself?
At 18, yes, I do. Yes, as far as he wants to go.
If he was 6?
So when he was 6, no, absolutely not.
Right.
And
Absolutely
see,
not.
and-
But the thing is that when we grew up, right, you could do that because
I'm much
the
younger than
community knew each other, right? So even if you were out alone during the summer for hours on end, the community looked out for each other.
Right.
That's not the way the situation
It
is
isn't.
today.
I don't
Not
know-
in the suburbs and not in urban USA. It just isn't. I think those parents should be in jail for child endangerment.
Wait, whoa.
Closer to you
But,
than anyone else.
but
Absolutely.
one more thing regarding that suburban thing. I think a lot of people in the suburbs do, you pay high taxes or whatever, and you feel as though your community is so safe. You're the same ones leaving your keys in your Range Rover, which is why it's stolen, and the same ones leaving your back door unlocked. Everybody needs to just smarten up, though, regarding what's out there. And as far as I'm concerned, pedophilia and child human trafficking has been going on since forever.
Yes.
But they won't get our kids.
But you know what's really interesting about the
None
statistics?
of us are going to take me.
I
If
am
you think
putting
about
my
the
kids
stats,
in a
though,
kennel cage the second I get home.
If you
I
think about
believe in that.
if you think about the statistics, though, between 1993 and 2010, crime for children has gone down by 77%, according to the FBI. The reason why is because of this attitude right here. We're now more cognizant of the dangers that are out there, and we're not just letting our kids go out there to become
Right.
victims.
Yes.
We're being more protective, and
Yes.
it's reflected in the statistics.
Right.
Yes, very good comments. Listen, we're going to go to a break, but let me ask you a question. Is it okay to schedule sex? We'll fight more next. Keep it here. Welcome back. Okay, we're still here with our Hot Talk panel. New mom Kelly Clarkson is in the May issue of Red Book magazine. In the interview, she talks about, I know, isn't that the most precious little chubby baby ever? Cute. Anyway, in the article, she talks about her new life as a mother and a wife, and she reveals that no matter how hectic things get, she will never schedule sex with her husband. And I said, well, why are we, hold on, because I was like, why are we talking about this? Do people schedule sex? How romantic. Jenny?
Sometimes. First of all, Wendy, you guys look at me aghast. First of all, I have two teenagers.
I am scheduled to have sex with you next Tuesday.
I know you are. First of all, I hope that she and her husband keep things super spicy, that they're constantly doing it with the newborn. So let's start.
No,
Yeah.
just because it doesn't mean you're constantly doing it. It just means scheduling. It feels weird.
But sometimes you have to. If things get really busy, you want to be doing it, so make sure that you do it,
That's
right?
why God made quickies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why God made quickies. So you don't have to schedule.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can
with
be
them.
busy and like going, yo, let's just do this real quick. And then
Yeah.
you go ahead and back to business, right?
They like it. They
The men in the office are barking. That's the first ever in 6 seasons, that reaction.
Well, because you're nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I never schedule sex, and I'll tell you why. Because if I
Listen, the animals are going crazy in the back.
It's a menagerie.
Whenever I say sex, those animals go crazy. When I have scheduled sex, what happens is if somebody has a stomach flu or somebody doesn't want to do it, the disappointment, and then it's your fault.
Exactly.
You didn't want
First
to.
of all, how many people are the somebodies that you're having sex with who have stomach
Everybody
viruses?
in New York I was having
But
sex
if you
with.
schedule it in a romantic way, Wendy, if you're like, Friday night, baby.
I mean, that's okay for date night. If you want to do a date night, that's separate from a designated sex night.
No, date night is the same thing as a sex night. Oh, yes, it is.
Because if you do that, you know what happens?
What?
You start thinking, all right, well then, dinner's over at 9:15, so at 9:17 the panties drop, and then I should be having sex. You don't want that. What you want is we may have sex tonight, we may not have sex. Sometimes the sexiest thing isn't actually doing it, it's the anticipation
I am
of
so
doing
with you.
it.
He's very coquette.
Because then, at date night, you're going to be worried about what to eat. I'm not going to have turkey chili if I know, you know.
I just feel like scheduling it is really, really not very romantic, and it takes the romance out of everything. So for those of you who schedule, to each his own. I just find it strange. Anyway, look, for more information about any of my panelists, you can go to wendyshow.com. Up next, you heard the wild animals in the back.
I can't wait.
Dave Mizejewski is here, and he's got a menagerie, so don't go far. Things on Hot Topics, we started digging. And we didn't have to dig too far. And springtime is the right time for a party. Sandra Lee shows us how to make the perfect margarita. Oh, I couldn't, but I will.
Tuesday on an all-new Wendy.
Welcome back. I love when our next guest stops by because he makes me feel safe. He's brought along some amazing endangered animals. Please say hello to our good friend, wildlife expert, Dave Mizejewski.
Hey, Wendy.
Hi, Dave. So, Dave, who is this?
So this is a gopher tortoise. And as you said, today I brought on animals that are threatened and endangered and are declining. Today, the extinction rate is 1,000 times greater than it normally would be because of human activity. And so the National Wildlife Federation is dedicated to protecting these wildlife, making sure we have them for the future.
What type of human activity? Like, we want the tortoise for tortoiseshell sunglasses and things?
In this particular species, these guys live down in Florida and in Georgia. They used to live all across the Southeast. These guys, habitat destruction. We're gobbling up their habitat for development and roads and highways. It's really bad. Now, this guy's extra special because there's another animal that relies on him to survive that's also a threatened species.
Oh, a friend.
These guys dig burrows. Okay, gopher tortoises, so they dig burrows, and there's a few dozen other animal species that live in those burrows. This is one of them. So we're gonna put him there.
Now, Dave is an old friend to the show, and if you've been watching this show long enough, you know I have a healthy respect for animals. I'm scared of all of them, and I feel as though they can smell fear. So I'm trying to be brave.
You are very brave, and I promise you, you're gonna be fine. This is a beautiful indigo snake. Look at the beautiful color. You can gently touch. Not slimy, beautiful.
Ooh, it's cold.
Yeah, so anyway, these two animals rely on each other. If we destroy one, we destroy the other.
Aww.
But we've got a bunch of other really cool animals that I want to get to. So let's go on to our next animal.
One more thing about our friend the tortoise.
Yes.
How old is he? Because I hear that they can live to be like 100 and...
Yeah, these guys, you got him?
Oh, it's an owl.
Tortoises can live decades, so. This owl is called a barn owl. Now, this is an animal that is actually found all around the world. North America, South America, Australia, Africa. But because, again, of habitat destruction, they're not common throughout their range. If you're lucky, you could attract this owl to your backyard, even in urban areas. So,
are you serious?
We have to have the habitat for them, and that's nesting habitat. They need, cavities to nest in if you have an old barn or a building, hence the name barn owl. But these guys can hear a mouse and catch it in absolute pitch darkness. Amazing.
Okay, does the neck go all the way around?
Not all the way around, 270 degrees.
270
yeah, otherwise the head would pop off.
Yeah.
We got a couple more really cool animals,
Okay.
though. Let's bring out our next one. Now, you're gonna absolutely love this next animal.
I'm sure.
Totally gorgeous, beautiful animal, which is one of the reasons why it has gotten into trouble. Overhunting. Here we come. Okay.
Oh, right.
This is a lynx.
A lynx coat is beautiful. I see what you mean by that.
right, come here, sweetie. There we go.
Some of you ladies watching have lynx coats.
This is, I hope not. This is a Eurasian lynx. Okay, they're actually doing okay in the wild, but their cousins, the Canada lynx and the Iberian
really
lynx
beautiful
that lives
animal.
in Spain is critically endangered. So in North America, climate change is actually what is making the Canada lynx endangered because their habitat is no longer there because of climate change. So beautiful, beautiful animal.
How old is this?
This is an adult, so she's like 2 years old. She'll fill out a little bit more. This is the largest lynx species, but they live those giant feet.
I was gonna say, your feet are big.
They're adapted for the snow. All right, let's bring out our last animal. And again, all of these animals are animals that the National Wildlife Federation is really dedicated to protecting, and we really need everybody's help out there. So hope folks will go to the Wendy website.
Yes.
There's a link there, and
Absolutely.
you guys can
What is
all
that?
get
Is that a
involved.
gecko?
This is one of my favorite animals. It is a tiger salamander, okay? It's an amphibian, cousin to a frog and a toad. These guys are declining all around the world. If you want to,
Beautiful.
If you want to gently touch it, very brave. Yeah.
Ooh, you know what it feels like? It feels cold and slimy.
Yeah, these guys are slimy. But here's the thing. Ugly animals still need our protection.
No, this is beautiful.
Okay, all right. Well, good. That's what I like to hear. I've done my job here. All right, last animal. Really, really awesome.
What does that eat?
These guys eat anything that they can actually stuff down their throat.
What is that?
Okay, so this is the lemur that you heard about or that you were talking about. Not, you can just stay right there.
This is what they told me about this
Now,
lemur.
these guys live in trees, critically endangered animal. These guys, because they live in trees, like to jump, so that's why, you know, you probably want to stay over there.
He can jump 20
Let's see if we
feet,
can
so the
get him
whole
to-
first row, you watch it too.
Oh, no, we're going to keep you over here, buddy. Come on. Swedish fish are his favorite treat. I'm trying to lure him this way, but he really kind of want to look that way. That way. Let's see if he'll jump back over this way.
That's what we have in common then. I like a
Critically
Swedish fish, too.
endangered. It's a primate. It's related to monkeys. These guys live in Madagascar, almost extinct. So we need to protect their habitat.
A lot of people, like Kirstie Alley, they have lemurs.
Not a good idea to have any of these animals as pets.
Okay.
You need special care, special facilities, vet care, you know, professional trainers to work with them. So not something that regular people want to do.
Dave, if I
totally
didn't
not
know you,
interested
I
in
would
these.
never be exposed to such exoticness. Thank you again for coming to our show.
You're welcome.
For more information,
All right, let's see.
for more information on the National Wildlife Federation and how you can help endangered animals, go to wendyshow.com. Give it up again for Dave Mizajewski. Ask Wendy is next. Thank you, Dave. Watch The Wendy Show whenever you want on my YouTube channel. Hot topics, celebrity interviews, and of course my legendary after show. It's all on YouTube. Subscribe today. We're back. Everybody have a seat. It's time for Ask Wendy. Except for you. How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. I'm Jill. How you doing?
Good, Jill. How can I help?
So, I'm going through a divorce, and I recently found out that my soon-to-be ex-husband has been befriending my friends on Facebook and asking them out on dates.
Okay.
So, I feel disrespected, but at the same time, I really could care less.
Okay.
So, my friends kind of like always ask, you know, what's up? Why aren't you mad? Should I be mad, or should I just go with my gut and not care?
Here's the thing. I would care, but I'd act like I don't. I wouldn't say anything to him, and I wouldn't say anything to my friends, because the first friend who accepts his invite is the first friend you dump along with him. All right? Okay, just set the trap, though. Set the trap.
Okay.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to hear about your divorce, or you're about to embark on a brand new life, thank God.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, good for you. How you doing?
Hello, Wendy. My name's Marie. How you doing?
Hi, Marie. How can I help?
Doing good. My husband and I are going down to the Jersey Shore this weekend. We have a little place down there.
Okay.
And my son, who's 26, just recently moved out with his girlfriend. They have a little place themselves.
Here we go.
Yes. They want to come visit us this weekend, and they want to more than likely sleep under our roof in the same bed.
Yeah.
I do not approve.
Neither do I.
And I'm trying to figure out what I should do, and should I allow them to sleep under my roof? And I do not approve. What do you think?
Here's the thing, and I'm no cornball. Okay, and these kids think they invented a game. As opposed to being disrespectful to you and your husband wanting to sleep in the same, because I wouldn't allow that either. Why couldn't they sleep in separate rooms and then sneak into each other's rooms like we used to do?
Back in the day, yes.
Back in the day, right? Like, you know what they're gonna be doing, but they
Yes.
don't need to throw it in your face.
I
Have
agree.
some respect.
I agree.
Good for you, Marie.
I'm going to tell them to watch your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. on. How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. I'm Crystal. How you doing?
Hi, Crystal.
I've been dating this guy for about a year, and he wants me to be his girlfriend, but I'm a bit apprehensive because I got out of a bad relationship, so I don't really know if I should make it official with him. What do you think I should do?
When you say you've been dating him for a year, Crystal, what does that mean? You go out once a week, once a month?
Like every weekend.
Every weekend?
Yes.
And he sleeps over and you sleep over?
Yes. Yes.
Well, first of all, you cannot stay out of a relationship to avoid hurt.
Okay.
It's like riding a horse. You got to get right back up there.
Okay.
Seeing somebody for a year, it is time for you to make a choice. Now, if I were him and asked you to be my girlfriend and you said no, then I'd be like, okay, bye. Because after a year, if you don't know it's me and you, not you and the jerk you're with, then I don't know when you're going to learn. Okay?
Okay.
So, good luck.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Come on. How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. My name's Kathy. How are you doing?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. My son is 14. He's going to be a sophomore next year. And I am insisting that he get a summer job. He doesn't want to have a job. He wants to hang out with his friends because they don't have to work.
Wait a minute. Wait. Because our kid is 14. He would love to have a job. You can get working papers at 14?
Yes, you can. You can. You have to go through the high school. Yes. It's a wonderful
What
thing.
are you, like a CIT at a camp or something like that?
No. I just went to the high school and said, where do I get the working papers? They said, here they are. Your physician fills it out, and your employer fills it out, and boom, they can get a job in the summer.
So you want your son to have one of these jobs, and he doesn't want one?
No, he wants to just hang out.
Well, where does he get his money?
He doesn't have any money, and I want him to be independent and learn how to be a go-getter because I think kids are too much with the electronics.
Listen,
you know?
make him get a job. What is this he doesn't want? He's not the boss until he has his own money to pay his own bills. Make him get a job, and he'll love the independence.
Yeah.
Good for you. And that's Everybody Ask Wendy. We'll be back with more after these messages. This is Ashley, and she's from Oklahoma. It's time to play Who Dat? All right, we're going to show you a picture, Ash, and then you have to unscramble the face and figure out who it is. If you do it, you get a nice prize, all right? Let's see the photo. Who's that? If you need a hint, you can ask for one.
Who is that?
She stars in a sitcom, and she says, Manny, Manny. She's engaged to Joe Manganiello. Hey!
I know, it's Sophia Vergara.
Congratulations, Ashley. We are giving you $150 gift card to Home Goods. Yeah, we'll be right back. Big Hi, I want to thank our Hot Talk panel, also wildlife expert Dave Mizajewski, and my co-host, my fabulous studio audience. I love you for watching today. Houston, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.